Hi, welcome to I Love the Library. My name is Deb, and I'm the Public Services Supervisor here in Detroit Lakes. Today, I want to talk about some of our new arrivals. I'm standing in the section in the library where you can see new arrivals. This side is the fiction. Below me is the nonfiction items. Okay, so here's what I've found on the shelf. First book, Taste of Home Bake Shop Favorites, 383 recipes, reader recipes you'll love. Who can resist looking at a cookbook like this? Great photos of scrumptious looking food, and all made by people like you and me. The book also includes 10 baking tips for success, common baking terms, and a section on choosing the right bakeware. So, Taste of Home's Bake Shop Favorites. I'm always looking for new biographies, and here's one I found on the shelf. Brando's Smile, His Life, Thought, and Work by Susan L. Mizuruki. So I want to read just a little bit about the book. When people think about Marlon Brando, they think of the movie star, the hunk, the scandals. In Brando's Smile, Susan L. Mizuruki reveals the Brando others have missed. The man who collected 4,000 books. The man who rewrote scripts, trimming his lines to make them sharper. The man who consciously used his body and employed the objects around him to create believable characters. The man who loved Emily Dickinson's poetry. Now, doesn't that sound like an interesting book to start reading? The author herself is a professor of English at Boston University, and she specializes in American literature, cultural history, and film. So check out Brando's Smile, His Life, Thought, and Work. Planning a winter getaway? Here's a book you might want to check out. Berlitz's Cruising and Cruise Ships, 2014, by Douglas Ward, the world's foremost authority on cruising. In this book, you'll get expert advice that saves you money, in-depth reviews of 285 cruise ships, and how to find the best facilities, food, and service. So here's a book on cruising and cruise ships you might want to check out for your winter getaway. Another title that caught my eye, and I'm not sure I'm going to try this, but A Year of Biblical Womanhood. How a liberated woman found herself sitting on a roof, covering her head and calling her husband master, by Rachel Held Evans. So in this book, strong-willed and independent Rachel Held Evans couldn't sew a button on a blouse before she embarked on this radical life experiment, A Year of Biblical Womanhood. She learned the hard way, the blurb on the back says, she learned the hard way that her quest for biblical womanhood requires more than a gentle and quiet spirit. It means growing out her hair, making her own clothes, covering her head, and obeying her husband. So check out A Year of Biblical Womanhood. Because I mentioned in a previous show about Lonnie Dupre coming, I also want to feature a book that he wrote, Greenland Expedition, Where Ice is Born. In the late 90s, I believe it was, he and John, let me look at the name again, Heschler, they circumnavigated Greenland by kayak and using dog sled. And so this is quite interesting. It was a journal of the adventures of doing this circumnavigation, and it really makes you appreciate a man like this who's got this adventurous, bold, adventurous spirit and doing things in the cold. And you think it's cold here in Detroit Lakes? You need to read about Lonnie's experience in Greenland. Again, Lonnie is going to attempt a solo climb of Mount McKinley in January 2015. So to learn about him, visit his website, oneworldendeavors.com. So see you at the library.